Hello, my name is Stephen Breckenridge Oliver, and I make videos about different things. And today I'm making a video about something that has already gone through the court. Now, although there is a condition in which could reverse everything that is being addressed with the Florida State Bar, I have no idea what's going to happen, and I'm still awaiting to hear from the Bay County Public Defender's Office at this point in time on this date regarding the matter. So far they haven't gotten back with me, which means it is not resolved at today's date, which is January, first week of January, second week, the 8th or 9th. It's a Saturday. I'm not sure of today's date exactly, maybe the 10th. Doesn't matter. They have till the 12th, and if they haven't responded by the 12th, and then on the 13th, I'll notify the bar as to whatever has happened by then. But today this video is about the Panama City Beach Police Department accomplishing the hostile executive takeover of the state of Florida. Yeah, okay, the judge that ruled this, and which has already been ruled, well, he's going with obsolete laws. He named statutes in which are obsolete as of January 3rd, 2017. These laws in which he's prosecuting people still, yeah, they're obsolete. They're no longer eligible to be used in a prosecution. And yet, he still does. Why is that? Okay, then there's the refusal to recognize the fact that we, the people of the state of Florida, we voted marijuana legal. Okay, we voted marijuana legal for medical purposes, which includes the right to improved medical treatment, the right to home remedy. That's right. And of course the right to private sector medical practice. We didn't agree to just let Big Pharma take everything. No point did we, the people of the state of Florida, agree to only allowing one provider of this medicine. So there's the refusal to recognize the vote of we the people on behalf of the Panama City Beach Police Department as another piece of evidence regarding their accomplishing of the hostile executive takeover of the state of Florida with Big Pharma. Okay, then there's I was busted with a grinder, according to them, and it's a taxed private property. Now, Montana Department of Revenue versus Kurth Ranch ruled, this is 93-144, that any given state is allowed to either tax or prosecute for any given private property. Okay, now how did this come about? Let's say a guy, this is an example, that's all it is, that's what I'm about to tell you is an example. A guy made $1 million, and he gets into the court, and he got busted selling the last quarter bag he had, and they get in there and they say, okay, where'd you get this $1 million? And he says, I got it from selling marijuana. Says, well, then that's tax evasion. Say, I plead not guilty, Your Honor. It is not possible to evade a tax in which does not exist. So it was soon after that that they 17 states in the year 2001, in which I last researched that, and I was in Illinois researching. Illinois does tax marijuana, but any given state can either tax or prosecute for any given private property, including paraphernalia. Okay, now realizing this, and realizing one of the statutes that the judge is still enforcing, even though it's a non-enforceable law, by law, they're still just discarding the law of state and federal nature as if these digest and which constitute our current law status don't even exist. They're alienating all type of law in regard of state and federal law in Panama City Beach Police Department, and this is evident. This is not a guess. Okay, and there's the refusal to recognize a state-issued license. All right, Panama City Beach Police Department chose not to recognize the fact that I own a marijuana company license. Now, even the health department told me, Mr. Oliver, you are allowed to have all the marijuana you want. You're allowed to procreate it. You're allowed to manufacture it. You're allowed to progress it. You're allowed to do whatever it is you want to do it, including smoke it and sample it and determine value or determine integrity and determine the quality. Yeah, I'm even allowed to do that by law. All right, but according to the Panama City Beach Police Department, they don't care. They are totally discarding. Therefore, they are in fact accomplices to the hostile executive takeover of the state. Okay, then there's they're participating with Big Pharma using the health department as an instrument of this takeover. Therefore, they are accomplices. Okay, Big Pharma's using the health department as an instrument for their takeover. They've altered the definition of marijuana, said we don't care what you voted, people of Florida, we're going to do it our way because we got this contract, and that's that. You know, they're saying that we have to accept their rule, and to heck with our own legislative branch, to heck with our own judicial branch, and apparently the judge is cooperating, and to heck with the fact that we the people of Florida made this vote, and we chose to have marijuana as a medicine. They just don't care what we think or feel, apparently. So that's possession of pretense of sovereignty on behalf of the Panama City Beach Police Department, in addition to being an accomplice to the hostile executive takeover. Okay, and apparently they realize that the state of Florida has already filed in a federal court. All right, now the federal court ruled that it's a conflict of interest. Now, it could have been one or two things that ruled that it's conflict of interest. In other words, when the state of Florida sued Big Pharma, and the federal court ruled that, hey, because you've got this contract, that the state now has the right to be equated with a corporation and vice versa. Okay, now, and when apparently General Bondi at the time instructed, because the federal courts are actually ran by the state. Did y'all know that? I found out the hard way. Yeah, even Washington says, hey, I'm going to have to talk to the state before I can get anywhere at all with a federal court. All right, so apparently the Attorney General of Florida, General Bondi, enlightens this judge. Hey, this is a violation. You cannot do this. And then that conflict of interest right there. How can the plaintiff dictate the outcome of a presider's decision without it being a conflict of interest? So it's basically a catch-22 in which is being exploited by Big Pharma, period. Okay. Alright, so obviously the Panama City Beach Police Department chooses to side with Big Pharma in regards to the law's observation and enforcement as they are continuing. That's another piece of evidence of the hostile executive takeover, having Panama City Beach Police Department as an accomplice. Okay, and then there's, well, they have not declared separation from the state of Florida, and yet they refuse to comply with state and federal law. They haven't seceded from the Union. That's possession of pretensive sovereignty right there. That's another violation, another piece of evidence against the Panama City Beach Police Department. Okay, and they still refuse to comply. They refuse to comply with state law. They refuse to comply with federal law. Now, last I heard, this was a crime of any given municipality to refuse to comply with state and federal law. I comply. I have to comply. The health department told me I can do whatever I want to with it, but I'm not allowed to sell it, at least not yet. So I don't sell it, and I don't make any money. But I can have all I want according to the law. I can smoke all I want according to the law. But apparently Panama City Beach Police Department does not care about the law, which is additional evidence that they are accomplices to the hostile executive takeover of the state of Florida. Thank you for listening. Hope this did some good.